Okay. So in the last classes, we discussed about features of Linux and file system hierarchy. Default directories of Linux. Features of Linux means open source code we get along with the operating system, and multiple users can log in and multitask they can perform. And portability can be installed in all hardware architecture. Okay, with least hardware environment also it works. And then no downtime 24/7, it works without any downtime. And capable of same operating system can be used in normal desktop PC to supercomputer. Operating system is same. Okay, and free from virus. Linux is free from virus because of Linux kernel. And performance wise, it is faster comparing to Windows because it works with command line interface, and there is a swap memory, virtual memory, which is used to increase the performance of, speed of RAM. And security, because inbuilt IP tables are there, firewall is there, and it works with command line interface. So without knowing commands, no one can execute anything. For every user, password authentication is compulsory, and there is no setup file. Everything you'll get as a configuration file. It doesn't support exe files, and we can encrypt a file by assigning password. So these are the few reasons why it is secure. And coming to default directories in Linux is /, it is a parent directory or top level directory in Linux. Okay, it is similar to C in Windows. And / contains subdirectories also. Contains subdirectories also. Okay, so first is root. Root is the home directory for super user. Root is the home directory for super user. And next one is home. Home is the home directory for normal user. As a normal user, we logged in into computer and we created any files or directories. By default, the data is going to store under home. Next is boot. Boot contains bootable files, operating system bootable files, and kernel. Kernel up to version 6. And next USR. USR contains default applications. Applications which comes along with operating system. Okay, as bin contains super user commands. Bin contains normal user commands. And var contains variable file system log files. Task, it is like task manager, example only. Excuse me. And etc contains configuration files, system configuration files. Dev contains devices information, means partitions information. Next, media contains external devices information, external hard disk, external DVD writers, and pen drives information, means removable devices information. It contains.
Madhuri, are you sharing in screen? Because we see just a history of Linux.
Screen is not sharing.
I can see your screen now. It's visible for me.
Yeah.
Okay, let me check. Yeah.
I'm just revising. That's
Okay. Kapra re. काय दुसरं खायला
changed.
Yeah.
Yes. /root bin.
SS. So /dev contains devices information, media contains external devices information, OPT optional applications, applications which we install manually. MNT contains partitions and their mounted directories information. Run contains external devices information from our HCL version 7 up to version 6. Media contains external devices information, means removable devices information. From 7, run contains removable devices information. These are the default directories we have. We have the notes for this. I will share the notes to Telegram group. Okay. And now, history of Unix. So Unix Multics came at 1965. Then from there, Unix came in 1969. So of Unix, they released Unix. And Unix written with 100% C language in 1973. And who invented Unix, who invented Linux? These questions in interviews they will ask freshers. If you are going as with experience, no one will ask you who invented Unix, who invented Linux, this kind of questions. Only as a fresher, if you're going, you'll get that questions. Okay, and these are the flavors of Unix. This question no one will ask you. This is only for your general knowledge purpose. So using Unix source code, Unix source code is open. Unix source code is open. Using Unix source code, anyone can release their own operating system. So not only Red Hat, we have many operating systems which they release using Unix source code. So these are the flavors vendors of, and these are the operating systems. So these are the vendors who are using Unix source code and released their own operating system. See, if you go with IBM company, they are using AIX server internally. IBM is using AX server internally. Sun is using Solaris internally. Like these are the vendors. AT&T is using Swiss 3 or Swiss 5. Internally, they are using, and even HP is using HPUX. Internal operating systems, these are for security reasons, they are using their own operating systems. But for this all source code is Unix only. Okay, so these are the flavors of Unix. Red Hat also using Unix source code only. So Linux Torvald is the person who invented Linux operating system in 1990. He's a graduate student and he gave that operating systems to OSF organization called Open Source Foundation Organization. This is the official logo for Linux operating system. Linux also using Unix source code only. Unix source code is open to everyone. Even if you want, you can release your own operating system using Unix source code. And these are the distributors of Linux operating system. Linux means not only Red Hat. We have different distributors for Linux. Like router means not only Cisco router. We have different vendors, right? Same like that here also. We have different distributors. One more is there, Kali Linux. Kali Linux is also called as Hackers Linux. Okay. So these are the Linux distributors. This is only for general knowledge I'm giving. And these are the versions of Red Hat. So we have free editions and commercial editions. So whether it is free edition or commercial edition, operating system is free. Starting they released free editions. From the year 2000, they started releasing commercial editions. Okay. So if you are using commercial edition also, operating system is free only. They will not charge nothing for operating system because source code is open. Then what is the difference between this free edition and commercial edition? Means for commercial editions, Red Hat will give technical support. You will get the technical support from Red Hat. So in organization servers, they will configure with commercial edition so that they will get support from Red Hat. Okay. So in normal machines, employees machines, they will go with CentOS. Backup machines also, they will go with CentOS only.
पढ़ते रहे पढ़ेंगे पढ़ते बा.
Ravindra, you are asking something?
Sorry, sorry. Sorry. No, Madhuri, please wait. Sorry, it's my. I didn't mute
Okay. So these are the features of Linux which we already discussed. Open source, multitasking, multi-user, portability. Scalability can be installed in any, from normal desktop PC to supercomputer. Operating system is same here. We can use same operating system. Okay. And reliability and security. And this is the hardware requirement, minimum hardware requirement. If you want to install Linux operating system, means this is the minimum hardware requirement. CLI means command line interface, GUI, graphical user interface. Okay, so 512 MB RAM, 10 GB is there also, 10 GB hard disk is there also. You can go with Linux operating system. And these are the recommended partitions and their sizes in Linux operating system. Okay, in yesterday's session, we discussed about the directories, right? And these are the recommended partitions and sizes. Okay, these are recommended only, not compulsory. Then what are the compulsory partitions in Linux means? / and swap are the compulsory partitions. Okay, so in Linux, while installing the operating system, these are recommended /boot, //usr, var, home, swap are the recommended partitions. Then what are the compulsory partitions? Means compulsory partitions are / and swap. Up to now, what we discussed, is that clear, everyone?
Yes, I'm clear.
Yeah, Madhuri.
Thank you.
Yeah, done. So recommended partitions are / and swap. / is recommended. Sorry, compulsory partitions are / and swap. / and swap are the compulsory partitions in Linux. / is compulsory because it is a parent directory or top level directory in Linux. So it is compulsory partition. / is compulsory partition because it is a parent directory, primary partition. So it is compulsory in Linux. And swap. Swap also compulsory while installing the operating system. If you don't create either / or swap, you cannot go with next screen. It will not allow. These two are the compulsory partitions in Linux. / is compulsory because it is a parent directory and it contains subdirectories. So / is compulsory partition. Okay, and next one is swap. Swap is a virtual memory. It is a virtual memory. See, physical memory. Memory means what? Storage device. Physical memory means what? Physically, which we can touch. What we can touch comes under physical. Physical memory means we can touch it physically and we can use it for storing. Logical memory means we cannot touch, but it is used for storage, right? So RAM, ROM, hard disk, these are physical memories. They're used for storing and we can touch them. And logical memory means swap is a logical memory. So if we can say it is a virtual memory. Virtual memory means logical memory, which we cannot touch. So we have swap memory, virtual memory, which is used to increase the performance of physical memory, means RAM. While installing the operating system, we create virtual memory. How we create virtual memory means we'll take the space from hard disk and we will create virtual memory. Okay, and that virtual memory size we will add to our RAM. Swap size is twice the RAM. Say for example, if you have 1 GB RAM, 1 GB RAM is connected to your computer. Okay, you can create 2 GB swap memory. You can take 2 GB space from hard disk and you can create virtual memory. And that space you can add to your RAM. Now 1 plus 2 GB, 3 GB. Your RAM performs with 3 GB space. So initially it is 1 GB. While sending the data and receiving the data, it uses 1 GB. Right? But now we added 2 plus. I mean 1 plus 2, now this is 3 GB. Now RAM works with 3 GB space. So performance of your computer will increase automatically. So swap memory is used to increase the performance of RAM. While installing the operating system, creation of swap memory is compulsory in Linux. Okay, and after entering to the operating system also, again you can create virtual memory to increase the performance. Okay, so in shell scripting class, while installing the operating system, I will show how to create swap memory. In Linux administration class, I will show after entering to the operating system also how to create swap memory. That in Linux administration class you will get, not here, because that is completely about Linux, right? So these two are the compulsory partitions in Linux. Forward slash is compulsory, it is the primary partition. Swap is compulsory to increase the performance of RAM. And remaining directories are, remaining partitions are recommended. Slash boot is recommended to avoid the wastage. See, 200 to 500 MB space is enough. For slash boot contains bootable files, right? So what I will do is while installing the operating system, I will give space between 200 to 500 MB space. I will give to my slash boot. Now it uses only for storing bootable files. If there is more space in slash boot, if you don't create while installing the operating system, if you don't create slash boot, means in future, if you are trying to store any data in slash boot, it will take the space from forward slash and it will store the data in boot because boot is under forward slash. Without knowing, if you are storing something data in boot also, it stores the data. It uses the space of forward slash and it stores the data. So what is the problem there means while booting, it will check your personal data also. If the data is stored, your personal data is stored in slash boot means your personal data also it will check while loading. That is time-based process. That is the reason what we can do is while installing the operating system, we create slash boot and we'll give the space between 200 to 500 MB. So that if someone else is trying to store the data, personal data in boot directory means it will not allow them to store the data. Okay, only that is the reason slash boot is recommended. And next one is slash home. Slash home also recommended only, not compulsory. So what is the purpose of slash home means? If you give specific size to slash home, say for example, 100 GB space if you give to slash home means using that space your users can store the data. If there is no space in slash home separately, if you don't create slash home means whenever user logged in and user is creating any files or directory, Home take the space from forward slash and it stores the data. If there is no space available in forward slash, home cannot store the data because home is under forward slash. So it is recommended to create slash home and specify some size. No, you don't have any normal users. This is your personal PC or laptop. You are not allowing others to store the data in your computer. So no need to create slash home separately. Because you can, as a super user, you logged in into computer means you can store the data anywhere. You have space. This all I will show practically also. You'll get more understanding at the time. Okay. So slash home is recommended to store personal data. And next, slash USR and slash var. These two are recommended in server PCs only. In client PCs, it's not required. Only in server PCs, these two are recommended. Slash USR is recommended to create while installing the operating system so that if you give more space to slash USR, when in server PCs means USR contains default applications, right? In order to run all the applications without any interruption, what administrators will do is while installing the operating system, they will create slash USR separately and they will give more space so that it can run all the applications. More than 1800 applications, they will run 24 by 7. To run all the applications without any interruption, they will create slash USR manually and they will give more space. And slash var also recommended in server PC. Slash var contains variable files, log files. User log files are stored in slash var. So in slash var, it contains variable files, right? So in server PCs only, they will create slash var separately and they will give more space to store all users information, log files, user log files. If there is no space in slash var, or if you don't create slash var separately, then what var will do is when users are logging in and they are executing something, it stores log files. It takes the space from forward slash and it stores the log files. If there is no space in forward slash space is completed. Assume you give only 10 GB. The space is completed. Okay, then when var is trying to store the log files, it will not give the space to var. Insufficient space, it will get the error. That is the reason in real time, var they will create separately and they will give space because log files are important to resolve the issues, errors. So log files are very important. They will take the backup of log files also because that is very important in real time. So in server PCs, var is recommended to create to store the log files. So these are the recommended partitions in Linux. Forward slash and swap or the compulsory partition. In some interviews, they're asking what are the compulsory partitions in Linux. Forward slash and swap are the compulsory partition. In startup companies, they'll ask these questions. As a fresher, you're going to interviews means. Forward slash and swap are the compulsory partitions in Linux. That too, if you're going as Linux administrator, there you'll get that question. If you're going as shell scripting side, you're going, they will not ask this one. Okay, as a Linux administration side you're going means you'll get that question. What are the compulsory partitions? That kind of questions you will get there. Forward slash and swap are the compulsory partition. Forward slash is compulsory because it is a parent directory. Swap is compulsory because it is a virtual memory which is used to increase the performance of physical memory, means RAM. Slash boot, slash home are recommended in client piece. In slash boot, slash home, slash USR and slash var are recommended. Slash boot is recommended to store only bootable files. Slash home is recommended to assign space to store users data. /usr and /var are recommended in server pieces. Only in server pieces they are recommended. /usr, it is recommended to run all the applications, default applications without any interruption. /var is recommended to store log files. Okay, so all these directories also in Linux administration, you will get this all the directories purpose. Practically also we'll see there. Okay, so I just gave theory information. Practically we'll see in further classes, definitely. Features of Linux, what the points we discussed, okay, about the directories, everything you will see in further sessions also. So these are the recommended partitions we have. Okay, hope you are clear. If you are not clear, any confusion, you can ask me definitely. Not only now, in further classes also. Or when I share the notes, revise once, all the points, revise once. Once you paid, you will get the Telegram group link I told you, right? There I will share the notes for all the points. So once you get the notes, just revise the notes. If you have any doubts, you can message me in Telegram itself, or you can ask me in the classroom. When something I'm explaining, you are not clear, you can ask me in the classroom also. You can message me on the chat box, I'll check and I'll respond, or you can ask me directly. Okay, so this is about today's session. So thank you for the session. We'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you.
And happy Shri to all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ravinder, if you are saying something, I'm unable to. Okay, it is left. Shubhangi, you are clear, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then Govind?
Yeah, I'm clear. Thank you. Classes will be from Monday to Friday, right?
Yes, Monday to Friday.
Okay.
You're continuing with Shell and Linux administration also?
Only this one, right?
Or you are thinking still?
No, I'm only this slot. 8 to 9 o'clock is okay for me.
Okay, like shell scripting.
Yes, shell scripting only. Because other time I'll be in office for
Okay.
Linux.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe next time, maybe in the if there is a new morning batch, maybe after a month or so or 2 months, I'll
Yes,
see.
morning batch will be there next month. After 7 a.m. morning batch will be there.
I'll complete this one and then I'll.
That is better. One
yeah.
by one is better.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you. We'll meet tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.